welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm doing some testing for the NYSE tournament, which will have occurred multiple weeks ago by the time you're watching this, but hopefully vintage hasn't changed too much by then. Basically, the spot I'm in right now is Oath was my backup. I don't like Oath's position. I'm trying to find a combo deck that I could play that has game versus jewel shops and still is a powerful, proactive, busted vintage deck. I tried Doomsday. While I think the deck is great, I don't think I can pilot it successfully in an open field like that. In paper, where I don't have a chess clock I can solve my piles with, etc. That video came out last week. But Grixis Breach is a deck that I have played at Eternal Weekend in the past. It's a deck that I've played recently to pretty solid results on this channel. I played a couple leagues and they both went very well. It is a powerful, proactive deck. You can win the game on turn 1. You can navigate complicated wins out on turn 12. You have Lurrus as a companion, which opens up all sorts of shenanigans. The deck has Time Vault Manifold Key to take all the turns. The deck has Underworld Breach Brain Freeze to win the game outright. It's got Urza's Saga and Lurrus for beatdowns. It's got a bunch of different tools in here and tutors to find them. It's main deck Graveyard Hate, main deck Creature Removal. Lightning Bolt can also kill an opponent with Underworld Breach if your Brain Freeze is used, or if they could somehow protect themselves from getting decked. 3 main deck Dress Downs is huge too. That's really good versus the Thassa's Oracle and Urza's Saga decks. There's just a lot to like about this, and it can move and change its plan based on what your opponent is presenting. More than anything, when I'm prepping for a tournament like NYSE, I value familiarity and my ability to pilot a deck correctly, as close to optimally as possible. I think Lurrus Saga is a very good deck, but I don't have the reps with it to, be confident in the mirror match, which is definitely going to come up. I mentioned Doomsday already. I think that deck's great, but I don't have the confidence with it to navigate that. And Doomsday is a deck where if you make a mistake, you lose, rather than if you make a mistake, you have to fix it. It's just totally different calculation. But it's hard to make mistakes if you're busy winning on turn 1. I'm going to try to do some of that. This is Grixis Breach NYSE Open testing. Let's get into it. I'm on the play in round 1. I've revealed a Lurrus and my opponent hasn't. I'm actually going to keep this hand. It doesn't really do anything yet, but it has a lot of mana, a lot of potential. It disrupts graveyard strategies. I can draw a card off of Soulguide Lantern if I want to. I could also just Brain Freeze for 15 cards. That isn't like a real thing I'm going to do though. I'm just going to put Lurrus in my hand, just straight to Lurrus mode. And Lurrus plus Soulguide Lantern, I can draw an extra card every turn. So here we go. This is what I'm doing. Please play a Bazaar. Please play a Bazaar. Ooh, once upon a time, it's a Bazaar deck. All right, Soulguide Lantern. I need you to carry. I can Force of Will, a Force of Vigor. Oh, Collect a Roof. All right. I'm less worried about that. Okay, Mox Sapphire gives me a little extra juice in the tank here. So I'm going to cast Lurrus. I'm going to draw a card with Soulguide Lantern. I'm going to play Mox Sapphire. Then I'm going to recast my Soulguide Lantern and exile their Wasteland. I'm just drawing extra cards every turn and counter spells in my hand. Let's do it. It's cool when you start the game with a value generating, draw an extra card every turn creature in your opening hand. Fast Bond, Jesus Christ. Well, I don't think I can beat that. I'm going to force pitching Flusterstorm. I want to keep the Brain Freeze. I have high hopes for that. I am in trouble to this Collector Roof, though. All of my permanents are artifacts. Gonna have to solve that pretty quick. Alright, Soulguide Lantern, draw a card. Gitaxian Probe, show me what you're working with. Collector Roof, Ancient Tomb, Karn. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could cast Lorien Revealed instead of Soulguide Lantern here, and I might still cast Soulguide Lantern this turn. Lorien Revealed to draw 3. I'm 1 mana short of winning right now, which sucks because Karn is going to kill me, or Collector Roof is going to kill me. Bummer. Okay. Mox Ruby, cast the Soulguide Lantern. Yeah, 1 mana short. Tough beats. Okay, I'm going to have to beat this Collector Roof somehow. And I will pass the turn. I guess if I played out Mana Vault, I could have drawn another card this turn, which might have been Black Lotus, and then I win. Yeah, I should have drawn an extra card this turn. Or I should have not forced the... Yeah, I think knowing Collector Roof is in hand, I can't afford to force a fast bond. Shit, I blew it. Alright, well, I'm going to attack with Luris. Demonic Tutor doesn't work. Yeah, this is my stupid fault. All of this was avoidable with proper play, which I'm incapable of making. Like, what I was worried about with the fast bond was getting just strip mine locked, but I have Soul Guide Lantern in play when the fast bond's on the stack, so like that can't even happen. Okay, Raminap Excavator rather than Karn. The Raminap can trade off with the Luris now, and then I'm just hard locked by Collector Roof. They're at 9. Mental Misstep doesn't help. Yeah, I can't trade Luris for Raminap. That just doesn't do anything. I threw it. Okay. This is why we test. Saw the Collector Roof. I think if I don't see Collector Roof, I should still force Fast Bond, because Fast Bond is the type of card where once it resolves, they might not cast another spell again. But knowing the Collector Roof was in hand, like, I literally had the win if I could just wait one more turn. And with Karn as backup in their hand, they can even trade off the Oof now, and it doesn't matter because Karn does the same shit. Another Excavator. Okay. They're playing very carefully, which is buying me a lot of time to operate. Okay, I drew a Force. They waited long enough that I can successfully force a Karn. And now I need to string together removal for Collector Roof. I play Lightning Bolt and some red sources. That's my out. They're drawing with Horizon Canopy. They're protecting this Karn furiously. They can attack with 1 Raminap every turn. If they get too rowdy and lose the Oof in combat, that's really good for me. Flusterstorm sucks. I can take 7 more hits from this Raminap Excavator before I lose. They're drawing cards with Horizon Canopy again. They can just replay it out of their graveyard. It just is +1 card every turn. Lorien Revealed. Okay. My next land access is red, and I'm going to need the red to cast the Lightning Bolt. Just checking my deck real quick. It's Lightning Bolt. I could vamp 4 Lightning Bolt, but that... Just thinking about routes to that card. Their mana hurts them a lot. Like 3 of their 4 lands, representing 4 of their 5 mana, hurt them to tap, and they're at 6. Come on, deck. Right, they're going to clean up now. They discarded Karn. Wow. Yeah, they're like, nah, that's not my plan. A basic island. Strip Mine does kill this, but I can cycle for the Volcanic Island, which is what I actually need. There's the Strip Mine. Here's the cycle. I'm going to get a Volk. Looking at that Lightning Bolt. I'm not going to be able to get 2 mana for a Dress Down, which would normally solve this situation. Yeah, this Soul Guide Lantern just couldn't get the Strip Mine. I'm not intending to play out this land, though. They discarded an Ancient Tomb. Merchant Scroll. Okay, I'm going to discard Lusterstorm, I guess. No, I'm going to discard Merchant Scroll. I'm never going to cast that. Saga. Okay, that is a real clock all of a sudden. Gotta literally rip Lightning Bolt off the top. Is the out. 1 outer, 36 cards. Not that many turns to do it. Saga. Well, might as well play it. They've got the Strip Mine anyway. I'm just gonna have to discard if I don't play this out. Yep, there's the Strip. Vexing Bauble. That card is difficult to defeat, so I will misstep it. Happen to have that one. That cuts a turn off the clock. But winning this game is going to involve zeros. Okay. I'm at 4. Underworld Breach. I'm going to pass my turn, and this is the last draw step I get. Their Saga gets to tutor here. They didn't make any constructs out of it. Okay, now they have 1 to 4 to do that. Tutored another Vexing Bauble. Yep, super annoying. Please forget how the rules work and attack with everything. That's what I need right now. I need them to make a huge mistake. If they just stay the course, being careful, they're going to win next turn. Yep. They understand that this is a forced block on Luris. Okay, Lightning Bolt off the top. Shit. All right, well, can't even force that. Okay, this game was my own stupid fault. I forced the wrong thing. I just saw a stick carry card and knee-jerk countered it instead of using my critical thinking skills. Dumbass. Okay. We've got a Braid, We saw multiple Vexing Baubles. I don't want Force Negation here. I do like Dress Down. Mental Misstep does counter Vexing Bauble. Soul Guide Lantern was good for a minute there. I just missed the card I needed to exile, which was Strip Mine. I think I still win that game if the Strip Mine's in exile. I don't really care what's in their hand for Gitaxian Probe. Luster Storm doesn't seem very good. And they'll probably have Force of Vigors, but I'll try to power through them. Alpine Moon can name Saga versus them. I don't think I care about that. I don't think I want a second Soul Guide Lantern either. Yeah, alright, now I know what I'm up against and I can just make better decisions. Oh god, this hand is terrible. Mulligan. This hand is great. Keep this. I think I want to bottom the Ruby. I think I'd rather have actual lands in my hand than not lands. Sapphire. Ancestral myself. Time Vault. That's a good card. Luda Delta. I could hold up Steel Sabotage for Vexing Bauble, or I could just put Lurrus in my hand. Getting Lurrus exposes me to Wastelands. I think that's okay. Alright, I'm going to fetch an Underground Sea because that one casts Lurrus, and I'm going to put her in the grip. Okay, here we go. I got a couple pieces of a couple different things going on here. Once Upon a Time, can't interact with that. Found a basic forest, played it. Misstep the Fast Bond. I feel better about this one than I did about the one in game 1. Alright, come on, deck. Something good. Won my flip. Soul Guide Lantern. Alright, well, this looks familiar. Cast Soul Guide Lantern. Exile Fast Bond. Do I want to draw a card or leave this up? Alright, I lose access to red mana to cast Lurrus here, but I think having Lurrus in play is really good. I can draw a card if I need to with the Soul Guide Lantern. I can't recast it here, so I'm just going to leave it up. In trouble to collect a roof, but I've got some stuff going on. Saga. Hate my life. Draw a card. Paradoxical Outcome. Right on time. Yeah, I do have more answers in, but I need a red source first. I prioritized Lurrus. Right, red source achieved. This Volcanic Island. Attack with Lurrus. I am happy to trade her off for an oof at this point. And replace Soul Guide Lantern, I believe is the line here. Just have it in play for if I find a thing. Getting soloed by Collector Roof is one of the most embarrassing things in Vintage. And I hope to get out of this. But game 1 was completely my fault. Game 2, I haven't seen an answer to this yet. I have a bunch of live draws. We'll see what happens. And my next actual land cast PO for 4. Get something going there. Another Saga. And the oof is in. Mana Crypt is happening. On the flip. Glorian Revealed is a land eventually. I'll cycle this for another Volk. I can PO in the future. I could Ancestral Recall now. Just value breach. That's probably worth doing. Underworld Breach. Endurance and Response. Alright, well, at least they don't get the creature. And Lurrus can cast Breach in the future. Ancestral Recall is gone, though. They can block with a 1/1 here, which is not big enough to beat Lurrus, so I will be attacking. And I can bounce Vexing Bauble with Steel Sabotage whenever that becomes necessary to do. 2 Sagas trigger. Another Construct. Bauble. I could also try to ignore Vexing Bauble, because it doesn't stop Paradoxical Outcome. Oh no, Wasteland's so fucking good again. I hope they sandbag that for a Saga and just let me PO here. I'm gonna sabotage the Construct that can block. Probably should have done this in combat, would have saved a life, but at least get this thing out of the way. Lost my flip. Drew another thing. Now the Bauble. I actually would have drawn an extra card here. Okay, I'm going to attack with Lurrus and then PO for 4. I'm going to pick up the Lurrus as well. I need more cards here more than I need anything else. Outcome. I did find another red. Okay, so I can Vamp for Bolt next turn. Or Vamp for Key next turn. No, I need to Bolt first. Right. These are how all these pieces move together. Does Soul Guide Lantern matter, or should I have Mana Vault in play to have more mana? Yeah, I think Vault's better. I have to go to clean up here. I might clean up the Lurrus. So I'm going to take at least 4, probably 5, 6. I take 6. Vamp puts me to 4. Yeah, I would have been dead to the second Construct if I didn't bounce it, but it does suck that they're going to have access to it. Luris can recast Breach, which could recast Steel Sabotage. I think I lose the Soul Guide Lantern here. If they tutor a second Bauble, I mean, that's going to suck no matter what. It's fine. They did not make a construct, just pass priority. Yep, backup Bauble. Strip Mine, fuck. Yeah, now they just cut me off black. All right. I'll concede to the Wasteland. All right. Yeah, all right. I messed up game 1. They had me beat game 2. You're supposed to win game 1, so games like this average out in a best of 3, but I punted game 1, and I deserve to lose this match. Soloed by Collector Roof twice. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the draw for round 2 against another not Luris. My hand has 4 colorless mana. I have double force. This is pretty risky. I'm going to stress test a hand like this. Like if they're a deck like Jewel Shops, I'm actually very happy with this hand. I've got the redraw on Mishra's Bauble. Grixis Saga can eventually tutor Lotus or some colored source and get things going. Mox Pearl resolves. Lotus Petal resolves. Tolarian Academy. They've got 2 cards left in hand. Mox Emerald. I immediately have something to do here. Mishra's Bauble. I want to see what you're working with. There's a Saga on top. Hate that. That is one of the best draws. And I have 2 dress downs in my hand, so maybe it's still fine, but kind of a tilt. As my Force of Wills would have stopped any spells from occurring. I'm not going to get Luris here because I can't. I'm not even close to casting it, and this 3 mana might be useful somewhere else. There we go. Trust in your deck. Okay, they passed on playing Urza's Saga to cast Shieldred instead. One of the easiest Force of Wills of my career. And I think I have to cycle Lorien Revealed here. I'm going to have to choose black or red, and I think the decision is black, because that's half of Luris. But I want to guarantee my land drop without any shenanigans so I can start making constructs. Another force. I think I have enough of those at this point, but here we go. There's their Saga. I am a turn ahead because of the necessary development to cast the Shieldred. They wouldn't have had double black if they played Saga last turn. Oh! Sometimes you just win the whole stupid game. Welcome to Vintage. Me not making a construct here should terrify them. I'm going to get Manifold Key, I think is an uncontroversial selection for that. GG. Cool. All right. Okay, so there's some Tolarian Academy deck with Shieldred. I'm not even sure what really this is. Shieldred is in the sideboard of Doomsday, but Academy's not in that deck, and that was game 1. This is some just Saga deck of some kind. I think I like Alpine Moon here. Red Blast seems reasonable. A Braid seems reasonable. Yeah, I haven't seen much of their deck. They mostly just mulliganed and then died. I have to assume this is some combo strategy. I'm going to cut some of my dress downs because they're not going to have Hate Bears. They were in the wrong colors for Lavinia. They could have Orcish Bowmaster. Soul Guide Lantern doesn't seem necessary here. This deck might be too fast for Sensei's Top, but I'm not really sure because I didn't see that much. Maybe I'll skip on Alpine Moon and go down one of Braid and just bring in the Red Blast. I'd rather keep it light than go too heavy if I'm just wrong about what they are. Another hand that is missing colored mana but has Force of Will and a redraw. This is basically the same as last hand, except my land isn't Saga this time. Still going to try it. Opponent does have a Saga. Mox Ruby. Mox Pearl. Here they come. Hey, I drew a Saga. We're basically playing the exact same game as last time. Bauble U. Lusterstorm visible. Okay. Urza Saga. Mana Vault. Mox Pearl. And I'm not going to play out my Time Vault yet. I'd like to keep that as a surprise. But I now do have a plan to win this game. Another Saga. Let's go. I can make constructs. We can both make constructs. Oh, they don't seem to have follow-up here. Yeah, they just passed. So their hand has 5 spells. One of them's Flusterstorm. Oh, shit. Well, okay. 3, 4, force back up. So I could wait a turn, tutor Mock Sapphire, but they would have to have double force right now. Okay. Manifold Key. Because they can't cast this Flusterstorm that they have. It has to be force blue card, force blue card. Time Vault. Force pitching Dress Down. Force pitching Fluster. And Time Vault is back on the stack. And we win. Okay. Sometimes you just draw Time Vault, which is the appeal of this deck. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. On the draw in round 3, I have turn 1 Paradoxical outcome for 2, which isn't that spicy, but this hand sees a lot of cards and has Force of Will. I'm in. I also just received a text message from one of my close friends who attended my wedding. That's how close we are. That was him in round 1 with the Collector Roofs. Asshole. We will no longer be speaking. Speaking of not speaking, here's a turn 1 Null Rod. I obviously have to counter this. I just have to decide what card's going to go. It's probably Brainstorm. I just feel like Time Walk has more heat on it, and PO is the card that can win the game in one shot. This is something I'm a little concerned about choosing Grixis Breach, because Jewel Shops being the powerhouse that it is, everyone's going to be coming for artifact combo decks, and this is multiple opponents now who have had Null Rod effects in their main. Okay, so I can just Time Walk and see what next turn looks like. I could PO for 2. I could scroll for Ancestral and hope that things hold up. I think I'm going to get Underground Sea and cast Time Walk, because if I Time Walk and find another artifact, PO gets better. And now if PO finds a land, I can do more stuff. Oh, what does Vamp Tutor do? Well, I can at minimum PO and then put Luris in my hand. I think I am going to outcome here. It's not sexy, but it works, and I do have a land drop. Okay. Now I can Merchant Scroll for Ancestral and do more stuff. Okay, scroll for Ancestral. Or no, nope, can't get Tinker with this. Is Tinker even in this deck? It's not. It's also not an instant. Okay. 1 mana short of another outcome. I guess Ancestral Recall is fine. That would draw the same number of cards as outcome anyway. Ancestral myself. Find Lorien Revealed. I think that's better as a Lorien Revealed than it is as a land. And I have the win next turn, if it can come together. Alright. Yeah, I'm just going to pass here. I can Vamp for Brain Freeze and at least Time Walk a couple times, if not, find the Lotus and just win. Please don't have another Null Rod. I can play through some soft stacks pieces right now, like Sphere of Resistance and stuff, but Null Rod and shit like Karn is real bad. Alright, I don't care about Golos. No respect at all. Tutor to Saga. Okay, so when do I Vamp is the question. I could Vamp now. Oh, I actually should have cycled Lorien for Volk last turn. Okay, so if I Vamp for Brain Freeze. Or wait, no, the scroll's in my graveyard. So if I Vamp for Lotus. Alright, yeah, that's the win. Okay. Yeah, I can scroll for Freeze. Yeah, Vamp Tutor for Black Lotus. Draw for turn. Fetch for Volcanic Island, which I don't need to do because I have Black Lotus, but it's happening. Lotus. Red, colorless. Underworld Breach. Merchant Scroll for a Time Walk, or not Time Walk, Brain Freeze. I was looking at the Time Walk in my graveyard, but obviously meant Brain Freeze. Blue, 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 Freeze myself, and they need some sort of shenanigans from here. Cool. We did it. Breach win on the stack. Braids come in, Steel Sabotage and Null come in. Mental Misstep, Gitaxian Probe, Soul Guide Lantern. Those all definitely come out. Probably Dress Down. Dress Down can affect stuff like Phyrexian Revoker. And if we get into the Urza Saga phase of the game, that's bad for me, but I'm really not trying to play that game. Just a bunch of answers to Null Rod and Vexing Bauble in. Let's go. Okay, I've kept hands the last couple of games with no colored mana and not quite sure where they're going yet. Oh, Flusterstorm should be out of my deck. What am I doing? Oh no, I've sideboarded wrong. Got a mulligan. I was on 5 anyway. It's this embarrassing fucking Flusterstorm in my deck. I deserve it, but there it is. I'll keep this one and bottom of Fluster. This just has a lot of mana and a reasonable Saga plan if they go for Denial. I don't really want to see a Null Rod here either. Okay. That does not stop what I'm doing. The Soul Ring too strong. They do have a Saga and a Pithing Needle. They're going to name Saga. That would be such a beating. They probably named Key. Looted Delta, alright. A good name, but not going to find purchase here. Saga, Soul Ring, Manifold Key, untap my Soul Ring, and pass. I mean, they did knock 2 cards out of my hand with the Vexing Bauble, but I can still make this game happen with what I got. Workshop. They cannot activate their Saga with what they're showing me. But I can. Just doing math, if I could put Lurrus in my hand, I don't think so. It would cost 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm 1 short of putting Lurrus in hand and making a construct, and the construct's more important. It's pretty awkward that Mox Sapphire is in my hand, because that is the card that I would have searched for off this Saga, but Mox Opal's going to have to do. And I'm going to make a construct before they can tutor a Pithing Needle and turn these things off. I don't even know if that's what they're planning on doing, but I don't want it to be an option. They could get Lotus and just cast some giant stupid thing. Soul Ring. Alright. They are stuck under their own bauble as well. I wonder how many zeros are in that hand, because they play all the Moxen in their deck too. Karn. Alright, well that card sucks. Okay, they would have to... If they have an Ensnaring Bridge, they'd have to get a second card out of their hand for that to work. If they get something like Crucible of Worlds, that's going to be too slow and their Karn dies. I assume they have something that can solve this situation, but I do have a 3-power creature in play and their Karn's on 3. And I can fail to find off Urza Saga if it's Ensnaring Bridge and they pass with 3 cards in hand. I don't have to make my construct a 4/4. They got Lodestone Golem. Okay, so they could just cast a Giant Idiot. Sure. Alright, yeah, I mean, that sucks. So what I want to draw here is a land. Land off the top. Force of Will right on time. Asshole. Okay, flow to colorless. I guess I still get the Opal, because that's my plan to someday play the game. I have to attack Karn here. If I attack Karn, then they have Karn and I have nothing. I could make them leave this Lodestone Golem back. Construct will be 5/5 next turn. Alright, I still think this game is better without a Lodestone Golem in play. Oh, I can't force anyway, because of Bauble. Wow, Bauble's fucking me up. Did Bauble make this deck unplayable? And if I'm just on the play this game, I'm winning easily. The game was over 100 years ago. So, like, play draw versus shops has always been a factor in matchups. Karn is grabbing another thing. Got a Golos. Alright, we don't need to keep doing this one. Okay, they just had Karn. What do I care about now? In, which I guess is another answer to a Null Rod, and these Flusterstorms have to come out. Yeah, I played bad. I made some serious mistakes there. I could Pithing Needle, Wastelands, or Karns or stuff. I could Alpine Moon Sagas or Shops. Mindbreak Trap slows down their nut draw, and it's reasonable to cast in the mid-game. Dress Down can wipe out constructs and turn off Lodestone Golem if I need a turn to just operate. I guess it's Dress Down. It also ups my blue count for my 6 forces. Okay, I'm going back in. On the play this time, where everything's better. Oh no. No blue mana again. In a hand that would otherwise be great. I think I have to mulligan this. Yeah. Okay, this hand has mana set up and a force available. I will keep this and bottom Brain Freeze. Or I could vamp for the breach. No, I'm going to bottom brain freeze. A Volk and Pearl. Oh, if I had cycled Lorien Revealed first, I could have vamped this turn. What am I doing, man? This is why we test. Okay, there's a Saga. Emerald. Sphere of Resistance. Can I play through that? I don't really want to, but I also don't really want to pitch the cards in my hand. I wish I could vamp right now. Alright, I'm not ready to counter a Sphere. Playing through Sphere is always risky, but my deck does have answers to stuff. To another Underground Sea. I'm going to hold up Force of Will and Vamp Tutor. I can cast both of them through Sphere. Oh wow, that was their whole thing. Okay. I'm going to Vamp Tutor. Do I want to abrade their Sphere or just Ancestral and load up? That's probably just Ancestral. It usually is. Yeah, I'll take Ancestral here. And then Ancestral myself immediately. My own Saga has been revealed. I'll get that going. I mean, they can tutor something now, but their Sphere is turning off Vexing Bauble because my spells cost 1, not 0. So if they tutor Bauble here, my force costs 1 and doesn't get countered. And if they tutor something like Black Lotus or Soul Ring just to cast spells, I can counter those spells. Yeah, turn 1 Sphere and oops, no mana is not ideal for them. Crucible of Worlds can recur this Saga. I don't care about Saga. I do care about getting Wasteland locked, and my Graveyard Hate is out. Can I win before this matters? Am I going to get a better force target than this? These are the questions kicking around my head right now. I think them being like so screwed as they are, I am going to force this and pitch. I mean, PO's pretty bad with Sphere in play. I'm going to pitch PO to do it. Ghost Quarter. All right, dodge that. Cruel Fate. I do have 1 basic to get. Got him. I don't think I want to end step Brainstorm without any guaranteed shuffles. Found a force. I could just work my way towards Luris. What blue instants are left that I want? I have already gotten my Ancestral Recall. It's not fair that I can't play more than one of those. I could grab just Steel Sabotage and put my shields up. I could get Repeal. I could Brainstorm, then Merchant Scroll, but then I'm tapped out of Force of Will. I'm going to go for the Brainstorm. Cool. Saga rules. Bauble's kind of bad. Found the Steel Sabotage anyway. That worked out as good as it ever could. Okay, I'm going to put back Underground Sea and Merchant Scroll. Then I'll play Urza Saga. I'll pay 1 mana for a Mishra's Bauble. I'll bauble them, which draws the Merchant Scroll. Mindbreak Trap. Okay. Good to know. And next turn I have Saga available, or I can start reaching for Luris, who now has a friend in Mishra's Bauble. Okay, interesting. I have a Saga in play. I can bounce this if I care. They seem to be more affected by this than I am. I'm gonna let it ride. I'm drawing a land this turn. Saga ticks up. Underground Sea's in play. Luris in hand can still activate Saga. That does tap me out of double interaction plus Saga. But this is their problem to solve right now. Mistress Workshop. Alright, they may have solved the problem. Yeah, reaching for Luris was pretty greedy. I should just be checking boxes right here and make sure I don't die. Because the same 3 mana to get Luris casts Steel Sabotage, which is my best piece of interaction for the matchup. They can cast a 4-drop here. Nettle Cyst, I don't give a shit about. I can bounce that whenever I feel like it, and I'd rather have Constructs in play. Unpunished for my Luris greed. End step, Construct. Draw for turn. Lightning Bolt. Okay, I'm going to make another Construct. I'm going to tutor Key. Yeah, Key sets up any tutor to be a win the game card. Soul Ring lets me cast more spells. I have the spells I need. They can't really afford to attack because my attack back is way bigger. I can still force or sabotage. I can't do both. Trinisphere. Okay, my spells already all cost 3. That resolves. Okay, now I think I sabotage the Nettle Cyst and then start bashing. Paradoxical Outcome. An embarrassing card at this point. Attack for 4. 1, 2, 3. I can pitch Scroll. I can also just cast Luris. No, I can't. if I cast Luris, the Trinisphere actually does stop me from forcing if I cast Luris this turn. Luris does put lethal on board, but not if I can't counter any spells, so I'm just going to pass and probably force something this turn. Unfortunately, the hardcast force still costs 7 from the 2 spheres. I am going to force this and push the advantage that I have. My hand also has Lightning Bolt in it. I can put them to 4 here. If I draw any artifact, I just win. Not an artifact, is a land. Okay, hold on. Luris. Oh no, she costs 5. I forgot about that. That's right. I was going to Luris Bauble, attack for 10, leave them dead to bolt. That doesn't work though. Yeah, I can just attack, put them to 4. Manifold Key is lethal next turn. I can make a creature unblockable. I guess I might as well add to my board then, if that's what's going on. If they have me tapped out of interaction, but I have multiple lines to lethal damage. Cool, we did it. I love putting shops under their own lock pieces. One of my favorite ways to play Vintage. On to the next round. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past. Leave the heavy lifting to TopDeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. I'm on the play in round 4 with a hand that can cast turn 1 Luris and root past Black Lotus and pass with Force of Will up. I'm going to rock with this. Obviously it needs something to do, but that's been kind of a theme throughout this league. Chancellor of the Annex revealed. Alright, so we're against Initiative. My hand is phenomenal against Chancellor of the Annex. Wait, Mox Pearl, pay the 1. Yes. Emerald, Jet, Lotus, green, black, black, black. Get Luris, spend the green. It doesn't matter because I have the Jet and the Pearl. But just showing how you could filter into Luris mana there if you didn't have exactly those. Okay. We're in with insane resources on turn 1 versus a deck that's meant to deny your resources. Let's see what their follow-up is. Archon of Emeria. I can repeal that. I don't care. And also just trade Luris for it in combat. Okay. The Wasteland's a little annoying, but I still have this thing beat. Gitaxian Probe. Okay, I could repeal Archon. I'm going to start with that. All right, blue in the pool. Green. Repeal Archon. This lets me probe, replay Luris. Oh, sick. I could just Lorien Revealed now. Black Lotus. Lorien Revealed. I'm going to save the probe as a potential blue card for Force. Ancestral Recall. Alright. Urza Saga. I'm going to probe them. Yeah, their hand is another Wasteland. That one's kind of a bummer. And I guess I have to force the Archon this time around. Maybe I shouldn't have pitched the probe, because if I had been able to untap with Ancestral and PO, then they can't do anything. Yeah, PO is good for 4. Yeah, it's better than Ancestral here. I'll counter this thing. Here's the Wasteland. Okay. Oh, Underworld Breach. What a twist. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I draw 4 cards. Ooh, hold on. If I attack first, I can draw 5 cards and get my damage through. I'll do that. I don't win with combat if I win this turn. This also resets Luris, so I can Black Lotus multiple times. Okay, 5 cards. These are in my hand now. Alright, I have Lotus, Breach, and Brain Freeze available. You're dead. Okay, cool. They've had enough. Vintage players don't even need to see a win con. They just know when they're beat. Braids come in. Mindbreak Trap can come in. It slows down their nut draw. I don't care about Soul Guide Lantern or Flusterstorm or Mental Misstep. Just finding cards that have to come out. I don't care about Gitaxian Probe, but it is a blue card for Force. I don't think I'm trying to Alpine Moon Cavern of Souls in this matchup. Force of Negation is not very good either. Unless I'm willing to force like a Mox Pearl, I should not bring that card in. I think Needle can name Wasteland. That's something we've seen. Okay, I think I'm just going to do it like this. This sideboard's actually pretty light for this matchup, but we also can just dumpster this matchup like we just saw. We are a proper combo crazy, power heavy vintage deck. And that's what the advantage we have versus decks like this one. Okay, my hand does not interact with their turn 1, but it has crazy, crazy resources. And I'm pretty bad versus an Archon of Emeria, but a hand like this, I just got to keep this. Even if they White Plume Adventure or some shit on turn 1, I don't care. Soul Ring, Vexing Bauble, I care a little bit about that. Not that much, though, all things considered. Wasteland. Okay, 2 cards left in hand, no white mana visible. Obviously, I draw the Mindbreak Trap the turn after, it could matter. Okay, I'm going to get basic Island and cast Soul Ring here. Island, Soul Ring, and I am set up to make a run out of this next turn. See what their follow-up is. Strip Mine, you fucker. if I am safe to say that. I think that's a reasonable thing. All right, Cycle Lorien revealed. I'm going to get the red one, and then go to my turn. Okay. Versus Saga is interesting. I'm going to repeal the Vexing Bauble, and then dump out my hand. They could sack this to draw a card, and it fizzles my draw, but then it's gone forever, rather than the ability to replay it next turn. Okay, they chose to fizzle me. That's fine. It's gone either way. Black Lotus, Mox Opal. I have 5 mana right now. Unfortunately, not enough to deploy the Luris all in this moment, but it is enough to cast Mindbreak Trap if I need to beat something, even something that would come out of a Cavern of Souls is covered. And then Academy goes nuts next turn with Luris. Karakas covers Luris. That is a white source for initiative donkeys. It seems they've got nothing at all. Oh, we're marching my Lotus in the upkeep. Well, obviously I'm just floating blue with that. And then we can go to my turn. I can cast Mindbreak Trap if I play Academy, but I think I'd rather have Saga ticking. Though if they don't have a threat in play, I don't care about anything they're doing. All right, I'm going to play Academy and just be cautious here. That was a good March of Otherworldly Light, though. Wasteland, fuck. All right, float 2. Okay, let's see if they have another Wasteland for the Saga. Have I dodged long enough? I probably should have put Luris in hand there, but cycling Lorien revealed might be relevant. With the Karakas, Luris is a lot worse. Yikes. All right, well, cycle with Lorien revealed. I'll get the black this time, because now I am trying to cast Luris. Or red would have cast Breach. Did I just fuck it? I think I did. I'm a disaster. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Get Luris. The Bauble is actually turning on Opal right now and making Luris a thing I could do, so I'm going to chill with that in play. Vexing Bauble, okay. I mean, not okay, but resolves. And they got 1 card left in hand. Sensei stop. All right, we're still playing. Luris doesn't do anything here because of the Bauble. Breach can repeal Bauble. They might draw a card, but then it's, gone. Yeah, I'm going to go for a Breach. Either way, Bauble will be out of play here. Repeal your Bauble. Looks like they are taking the draw again. Mana's floating. Oh, changed their mind. Okay, sweet. Now I'm in business. Bauble you. So you're holding Vexing Bauble. You're about to draw Stony Silence. Yikes. Black Lotus. Get back Lotus. Sack it for black. Play Luris, who will replay Bauble. Then I'm going to Bauble them again. Yeah. If they go 1 into 2 here, if they play the Vexing Bauble, then the Stony Silence, I'm going to have to figure all that out. I can force the Vexing Bauble. Kind of wish they had popped it to draw a card again. Okay, I could force 2 things. Oh, no, I could force 1 thing. Vexing Bauble. Well, I just have to force this, or else I force nothing for the rest of the game. And this also knocks 2 of their mana out. It's probably worse for me than it is for them, but I did just draw Saga, and the mana to keep it going. Saga, Sensei's top to make my constructs bigger. Okay, don't draw your 4th Wasteland of the game right now. Cavern of Souls. Oh, wow. What is it? What is it? Lauren of the Third Path. Oh, no. And they have me in a Lauren Karakas lock. Those are the last 2 cards in their hand. Did they draw the Luris, or did they draw the Cavern or the Lauren? All right, I think I may have finally lost this game. It took thousands of years. But I mean, I'm still just... I only play one repeal. I don't have many answers to Stony Silence. Urza Saga's never going to do it. Yeah, this Caracas being in play, turning off Luris is a beating. Okay. And they're going to just start machine gunning my permanents. That's fine. They are unlikely to be helpful anyway. Another outcome. All right. We've finally started to fall behind. It's turn 9, and I think they finally did it, using every single final last card in their hand. Yeah, it looks like they drew a spell. Okay. All right, I'm good. I've seen enough. We can go to the sideboard again. Now I get to be on the play. A null counters an artifact or enchantment. Stony Silence over Null Rod is aggressive because sometimes you just don't have white mana, especially in your Cavern of Souls deck, but it is harder to remove what's in play. Can I afford to put a null in my deck just for that? What are my other outs? It's repeal or force it. Maybe if they're willing to play a game like that last one where they just don't present a threat until turn 8, I should have my annuls and sabotages in. But they miss on the creatures, which is really awkward. Yeah, null come in over Gitaxian Probe. I think this Mindbreak Trap is a lot better on the play than the draw. Or on the draw than the play. Gonna switch it here. And I think that's all I'm gonna do. Not gonna overreact here. Dress down Force of Will, Brainstorm. I will keep this hand. Sees a lot of action. Leyline of the Void. Okay, that turns off Breach and Luris. Sapphire, Delta. I'm just gonna pass here. Everything I want to do is an instant. Planes. I'm gonna go for a Brainstorm in the end step. Marching my Mox in response. I am gonna have to live with that. Brainstorm, found a bunch more mana. Lightning Bolt and a Braid kind of occupy the same space. A Braid can kill Pithing Needles and stuff. Vexing Baubles. If I put away Bolt and Force of Negation, that gives me the most options here. Just trying to be busted. Okay. I think I'm gonna Pithing Needle Wasteland. Just try to turn that off as an out. Ancient Tomb. White Bloom Adventurer. I'm gonna force this. Would have preferred to dress it down, but I'm trying to play around everything here. Merchant Scroll, okay. I'm gonna get Ancestral Recall and just try to gas up. Another Ancient Tomb. 5 mana in the pool. It's probably Seasoned Engineer. Yup, okay. Gonna have to outmuscle this thing. I bought a turn last turn. This thing does hit like a truck, though. I'm holding Time Vault. Gotta find a route to key. Ancestral myself. Alright, I found a route to key. Saga. Soul Ring. That was 3 spells. I don't think I'm playing around Mindbreak Trap. Thought I didn't. Spin the top. Black Lotus and some lands. I think I'd rather have a land than Lotus. Okay. It's getting stressful here, but we are close to winning. Bunch of damage. Alright, so they get in for 5. I'm at 13. They 10 me next turn. I'm at 3. And then I get the key. Alright, now I'm at 2. And they just drew... Or Lauren's on top of their deck. They haven't drawn her yet. Yikes, that might be the game breaker. Oh, if they have another Seasoned Engineer, that also breaks the game. Witch Enchanter. Fuck. Alright, yep, that's a really good new card. Yeah, Witch Enchanter, huge upgrade. And they're not even done casting spells. They also have a Stony Silence. Jesus. Alright, well, I've lost this game. Okay. I really hate losing to initiative, so this is a big red flag for me on choosing this deck for the tournament. On to the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play for the final round. No fast mana here. Some interaction though. I've honestly been pretty unimpressed with how explosive this deck is, because the answer is it's not. It has a bunch of Moxen and like you're playing all the fast mana. Maybe I just need a mulligan for that, but I've not had just like a turn 1 paradoxical outcome for 3 yet in this league. Czar Baghdad, okay. Maybe my next experiment will be Turbo Vault, if that deck is built to go faster more than this one is. I'm going to fetch an Underground Sea in the end step. I just want any percent of thinning versus Dredge, who is doing Dredge shit. Force of Will, another one of those. Not exciting. There's a Saga. I'm going to Merchant Scroll for Ancestral. Yeah, I think that's the best I can do here. I got to find my Soul Guide Lantern before I'm dead, basically. I either need to find my Soul Guide Lantern or win before they do their thing, and I'm not going to have a lot of time to do it here. They get to dredge at least 9 right now. 3 Narcomoebas, and they still have their draw step. This was in the upkeep. Icarid's going to happen. This triggers 2 prized amalgams. Yep. Officially in the danger zone. Okay, they can attack for 3 here so far. They're about to dredge another 5. I dredged a bunch of stuff that didn't matter on that one, but they get hit for 3 here. 6, 7, 8, 9 power comes in, plus another 3. Very close to dead already. And now if I draw the Soul Guide Lantern, it doesn't matter because they already have an insane amount of pressure in play. Amalgams are in. Draw for my turn. Brain Freeze. I mean, that does have the upside of potentially enabling a combo. Ancestral Recall myself. They've got a Force of Will. That's okay. I've got a grip full of irrelevant cards. Force Pitching, Repeal. Still have hopes that Paradoxical Outcome could win me this game. I did find Soul Guide Lantern. Probably too late. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, well, I'm not dead yet. Soul Guide Lantern's going to hit the Icarid. They have plenty of dredgers over there, so that's not what I'm going after. Storm is 5 right now. I don't think Brain Freezing them for 16 is the line. Yeah, I probably just tutor some artifact next turn with Paradoxical Outcome and try to send it. If their build has Creeping Chills in it, they can burn me out from here, and I'd have to use the Soul Guide Lantern. Okay, they just slow dredged that. They didn't do a full send in the upkeep because of my Graveyard Hate. Yeah, this attack puts me to exactly dead to double Creeping Chill. Okay, I'm not going to do anything with Soul Guide Lantern. I'm dead on board, going to my turn. Please draw Breach. Please draw Breach. Bauble is not Breach. And making a construct doesn't save me. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to float mana. If I find Lotus, I'm a Breach away from my combo. But Lotus isn't great with PO because you can't sink that mana into it. I could get Mana Crypt with PO. That gives me the most mana to do stuff with this turn. But then I still have to find the Lotus if I'm going to win. I think I want the Crypt. Crypt. Bauble. I need red at the other end of this adventure. So I'll tap for black now. If they dredge into 2 Creeping Chills while Soul Guide Lantern's in my hand, I'm dead. But I don't think I can afford to not draw this card. Okay, I found a bunch more POs. See if we can send it. And there's no sequencing that matters here. If they can just react whenever I cast the Soul Guide Lantern. The Time Walk is not a bad backup plan, though. Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah, here we go. Please don't hit 2. There's 1. God damn it. Alright, yep. Well, I can outcome again over top of this, which doesn't actually do anything. Yeah, I just needed them not to hit those 2 things. I knew it was there. But, you know, I guess if I do what? Just accept drawing 3? Is that my out here? I don't know. It's whatever. I mean, they had hit 0 so far, and they could hit, like, still a third of their deck or so. Slightly more than a third of their deck. So hitting 2 isn't outrageous there. I'm not mad about it. We knew it was there. It's just, you know, what am I going to do? Like, draw less cards and just whiff and die to the onboard damage? Okay. Bunch of Graveyard Hate and Bazaar Hate coming in. I don't think I need Force of Negation or Flusterstorm. Dress Down doesn't do much. I don't really care about Cadaxian Probe, but I guess knowing what it's in their hand isn't completely useless. Dress Down can, knock haste off of an Icarid versus Force of Negation. I mean, Dress Down cantrips at the very least. Okay. This is my sideboard plan. Or Flusterstorm can interact. They do have forces and stuff. They do have some spells, so I'll bring Flusterstorm back in over these Dress Downs. Wait, how did Brain Freeze get out of my deck? That was a misclick. That is not supposed to happen. I think I clicked on that when I meant to dress down. Definitely want Brain Freeze in. Okay, let's go. I would like to play first. My hand does basically nothing. Gonna mulligan it. This one does even less. Mulligan again. Okay, this one has a very fast win, but no graveyard hate. I don't think I want to go to 4 here. I will keep this. Bottom the Bauble. And I think Lorien is worse than Breach. Lorien gives me blue for Force, but I don't have the Force. I'd rather have the Breach. Saga and pass. They're a Grief deck. Alright, yeah, playing around Grief versus playing around Force of Vigor. I have decided to play around Grief. Force of Vigor is going to mess me up no matter when it happens. I can get the Time Vault back with Luris or with Breach if that gets griefed. Discarded 2 Dredgers and an Archimedes. Hollow one's fine. There's a pause in my upkeep. This can only mean one thing. Hate that. Well, we're probably dead. Okay, yep. That's probably going to do it. And I mulliganed twice. I saw 3 hands. That's 21 cards. Didn't see any of my 6 ways to shut down a graveyard. I don't know. Am I supposed to go to 4? Because the Force of Vigor beats most of my hate anyway. Yeah, drawing Time Walk would have accelerated my win, so this was a turn 2 win. It just doesn't matter. Attacking me for 4. This draw step's gonna be basically everything. But they're gonna trigger 3 Prized Amalgams here. Or no, it's 2 Prized Amalgams 2 times. Okay, yeah. Wait, it's 1 Prized Amalgam. Nope. Wow, okay. That was weird. Alright, we do still have busted cards. That's not one of them. Alright, you got me. A little too much coming out of that. Okay, so lessons learned from this. Vexing Bauble is a really difficult and annoying card to play against, and a bunch of decks are playing it. Obviously, I was aware of that. It's not like, oh my god, Vexing Bauble, what is this? But the play draw is exacerbated really bad here. I wonder if that can be solved with stuff like Hurkyl's Recall, or if this is just not a good decision to be making. We're also catching all the splash damage from Jewel Shops because we're also an artifact combo deck. We just have creative lines instead of dumb big spells that will end the game. And maybe the creative lines are just actually costing me the ability to cast dumb big spells. Not a strong showing, not a strong endorsement for this deck. I'm probably off it for NYSE, and I will continue exploring. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.